I want to talk about 3 grease zerks on the unloading system. The first 2 grease zerks are red tag 50 hour. They're located on the block shown here. The top grease zerk is going to grease the top of our vertical unloading tube. The bottom grease zerk is going to grease the bottom of the vertical unloading tube. The third one in the system is on our unloading chain, and it is also a red tag 50 hour. It'll grease the tensioner for the unloading chain on our unloading system. On the left side of the machine here we have a grease block with 5 grease zerks on it. It's marked with the red tag 50 hour service interval, and it will grease the major components on the left side of the machine. Here we have 2 grease zerks for the rotor bearings. These grease zerks are marked with the red tag and a 50 hour interval, and these will grease bearings that are open sealed bearings and will not over grease. I'm on the back right side of my machine, and I've opened up my side panel here to get access to a grease bank. In the back here we've got a grease bank that's going to help grease some bearings on a rotor system. They're marked off with a red decal, which is going to be a 50 hour service interval. Make sure we hit both grease zerks for that system. Looking here at the right side of the machine, I want to talk about a couple things on the returns elevator. First off, we want to make sure that we check returns elevator chain tension. We want to check that every 50 hours. And to do so, I've removed my back shield here and have access to the chain. If you feel inside here, you can feel the chain on the sprocket. You should have a little move to it. It should just slide a little bit on that socket. If it slides too much, you need to add some tension to it. If you can't get any slide out of it at all, you need to detension your chain just a bit. In order to make those adjustments, you come to the top side of your elevator, and there's a little bolt for tension and detensioning that chain. Also, while you're up here, we got another 50 hour service interval. We'll have you check the chain here, and this is going to run your returns cross auger. Have you check the chain tension. If it needs tension, we've got our tensioner here. Also, go ahead and make sure you oil that chain every 50 hours. We're looking at the right side of our machine here, and I want to talk about a couple things on the clean grain elevator. And first off, we want to talk about the clean grain elevator chain tension. And to do that check, we want to make sure that we check this every 50 hours. To do that check, I've got my boot removed on the bottom here, and I've got access to my elevator chain. And I'm just taking and sliding that across the sprocket at the bottom of our elevator. Got it just snug to slide across. If it's too tight, you won't be able to move it. If it's too loose, it'll wobble on that bottom sprocket. To make the adjustment for it, we come to the right side of the elevator here to our tensioning mechanism. To tension the system, to tension the chain, we're actually going to take and extend the rod here and tension at the top of the elevator. To detension that, we're going to shorten the rod and loosen up that chain a little bit. You want to be aware there are a few different systems for the tensioning. This is just one of them. Make sure that you refer to your operator's manual for the proper tensioning of the other elevators. I'm up on top of my machine here, and I've actually removed my cover at the top of my clean grain elevator so I can show you access to the chain that's going to drive our fountain auger. There's a couple things have you check on here. Make sure you check, make sure the chain's in good condition. I'm going to have you check this chain every 50 hours. Also, while you're up here, go ahead and oil that chain. Here we're on the right side of our machine. We've got a grease bank here with 5 grease zerks on it. These 5 grease zerks are marked with the decal, red decal shown here with a 50 hour service interval. This grease is going to hit the right side of our major components. We're looking at the right side of our feeder house here to discuss a couple of grease zerks. The first set of zerks is going to be on our cross shaft at the front drum of our feeder house, both the right hand and the left hand side. Those grease zerks are going to be at 50 hour interval. The second set of zerks we got to hit is on the back side, which is going to be on our feeder house pivot point. Both the right hand and the left hand side are going to have 50 hour grease intervals. This particular machine is a newer series machine, and it does not have these grease zerks, but the earlier series machine will have them. For more information on that, refer to your operator's manual.